work. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at them. They're all on now. Perfect. Welcome to the Tom Barnard Family Podcast with
co-host Catherine Brandt.
Andy Brett Bernard.
And Kristen Burt.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News, brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Okay, so we'll kick the show off with this for Andy. Well, Kristen, is for you too. There's no question. I just went up. Catherine and I attended a function last night at Mar-a-Lago, which they rent out. Nobody from either political side was there, which I kind of liked.
It wasn't a political thing.
It was one of the most gaudy-looking rooms I've ever been in my entire life. Good
I want the details of the gaudiness. Come on, give him.
Well, it was yeah, we had gone there, I don't even know, 18, 20 years ago for dinner one time. And of course, Trump wasn't not even thinking about being president or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it was just a normal place. You went in, and Marjorie Merriweather Post had gone on one of those world tours that they used to do, the wealthy people, see all these different places, and she brought back an idea to recreate a country in every room.
Yep.
So there's the Moroccan room, and there's the I don't even know what room, and so anyway, so there's this roundabout on South Ocean where you would go normally down there, but that's all closed off because even when he's not in residence, you can't use the A1A anymore. So anyway, so there's all these barricades and there's these gates and there's these cops everywhere, and we're like, how do we get into this place? And finally we pull into a cop and say, how do we get in here? So you have to go into a thing, you have to have your car looked at, there's bomb sniffing dogs, there's all this stuff to go to an event. So we get through there, and then you go up to the valet, and there's a big plaque about Marjorie Merriweather Post that was built in 1922. And lots of gold gilding all over the place, and and you walk in, and it looks like one of the ballrooms at the Breakers with the friezes all over the ceiling, and very, very, very ornate. And
it is indeed.
Yeah, and the ocean on one side, and the intercoastal on the other. It's a beautiful property, but it's he bought it for, what did you say, Tom? $9 million.
$9 million. And it's now worth $300 million.
I was going to say that's hundreds of millions, that property at this point.
Yeah, because it's got ocean front. So it's what did she say? 20-some acres.
Yeah, on the ocean. Right. 20 acres on the ocean and the intercoastal.
That was a good buy for him.
It certainly was a good buy. I guess the place was just like falling to ruin when he bought it.
Yep.
So.
All right, so here's the point of even bringing that up. I mean, we should talk a little bit because it was interesting. There's no question about that. But I get to my doctor's appointment this morning, right? And all of the people who were there last night talking about investing in the place and all the rest, they're going to build 130, did they say, clinics?
I think
in the next 5 years, something like that. But anyway, so I walk in, and they're all standing in the front lobby, I guess, of the rooms. As I walk in, every one of them at different times came up and said, so did Catherine like being there last night? I mean, it was her birthday. We wanted to make sure she was taken care of. Did Catherine? All they talked about is how much Catherine meant to them.
Well, it was her birthday.
Oh my God! They brought me a sparkler on a sorbet. It was so hilarious because nobody knows who I am. I never met any of these people before, and so they start singing "Happy Birthday." Mike Lindell came in for it, which I don't know why he was there exactly, but he was sitting in at our table, and it was like they all start singing "Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday, dear," and nobody knows my name, so it's like.
They brought that up today, as a matter of fact.
I laughed so hard.
It was very funny. But honest to God, even this morning at my appointment, they're all there, and they're all talking about, so did Catherine like her event and everything? She liked the fact that
it was pretty funny.
It's like, oh my God.
It's her birthday. She should be celebrated as such.
it was very funny. It
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and then Tom got up and said, "Happy birthday" in front of everyone, and Mike was up there with him, and he said, after he gets done telling everybody how much he loves me and all the, all these nice things,
Yeah.
Mike Lindell says, "Well, this treatment must be really working for you, Tom, because you remembered her birthday."
Even when she tried to make you forget.
I tried to make me forget it, but
was very-
every one of them came up and said, did Catherine have a good time? We want to make sure. Like 5 different people came up and wanted to know how Catherine did. Didn't care how I felt about it.
Yeah, well,
But it was her birthday. It wasn't your birthday.
I know. I was chatting
This
with
is
a
not
lot
very
of people.
hard.
That's true.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of contacts with all kinds of people now. I got a Greek couple that whenever we go to Greece, they're going to tell us exactly where to go and how to
Yep.
do it. And
Whenever you go to Greece,
whenever
Whenever
we go to Greece,
Any minute
we've got
now.
people.
Hey, you'll have like the best meals of your life in Greece because
I
they'll tell you
bet.
all the local spots.
Yep.
Now, shifting a little bit, I got an email yesterday after the show, and I wanted to talk about it this morning very, very quickly because it's so sweet. In 1967, I believe it was, 66 maybe. When did the Vietnam War start? 65, 66, something like that?
about that. Someone in the chat will chime in, I guarantee
Yeah,
it.
Margaret.
I thought it was
Yeah, Margaret would know that.
It'll probably be
70s, I
Joe
thought.
or
Oh, no, it wasn't the 70s. It started in the 60s.
I don't know.
But the great thing about that is I got a call from a friend of, because this was, again, 1967, 68, something like that, whenever. The
62.
62 it started? But when was America involved?
But yeah, I suppose. Like, when did we get involved
I
in
think it was like
Vietnam?
67.
It actually began in 55.
Yeah.
But when
Really?
did the U.S.
Yep.
get involved? Let's see.
Huh. Well then.
Because it was a 20-year war, which is crazy.
And crazy.
Crazy.
Any evidence?
I'm trying to look and see when the U.S. got in. Go ahead, tell your story.
But this
I'll
is
figure
how cool this is. I was at Cleveland Park on Lowry Avenue in North Minneapolis, and this guy comes running over. He goes, "Hey man, what's your mom doing?" I said, "What do you mean? What's my mom doing?" "She's on the radio right now." I said, "My mother's on the radio?" Apparently, Sam Sherwood.
Sorry.
That's nice. Sam Sherwood, who ran KWB and got a bunch of other things at the time, was trying to connect my mother with my brother in Vietnam by phone. And somebody brought that up yesterday during the show, and I didn't see it till after the show, but thank you for bringing that up. She listened to the whole, or they did, listened to the entire interview, because my mother was on one line, Sam's on the other line. They're trying to track Terry down in Vietnam, which trying to track somebody down in Vietnam never is going to work, and it didn't work. They
Back in
couldn't
Yeah, in
find
that
it.
era
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
Right.
So
We entered in 65 officially.
in 65 that early?
65, yeah. It says President Lyndon B. Johnson deployed 50,000 troops, doubling the draft in 65. And Kennedy had been involved, though, lightly. So
Oh yeah.
sending like advisors. So we were kind of on the periphery going back to 61.
But you know how sweet that is to get a message literally 50 years later saying, "I will never forget listening to Toots, your mother, trying to get a hold of your brother in Vietnam."
That's so
It was just
sweet.
very, very sweet. It was just wonderfully sweet. So thank you for that.
Speaking of Sherwood,
'Cause
actually,
that was
someone-
me. Lord Darkstar said that was me.
Someone asked if you could do your impression of Rob Sherwood, whoever that is.
Robbie baby.
Who's Rob Sherwood? Is he
he was a-
related to Sam Sherwood?
No, he's KWB disc jockey.
Wow.
I'm like,
Robbie baby.
Oh, I remember.
You remember Rob
Yeah,
Sherwood,
I do
yeah.
remember
Rock and
that
Rob
name.
Sherwood.
Rock and Rob.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting 'cause he asked me
KDWB.
yesterday. We were like in a big conversation yesterday about stuff, and I was like, I'll ask tomorrow. And then you brought up this Sam Sherwood guy, and I was like, that's an interesting coincidence.
Yeah.
Sherwood and Sherwood.
Rob Sherwood, yeah, he was never a big fan of mine. I do remember that.
That's all right.
I know it's hard to believe.
You're not for everybody.
I am not for everybody. That is very
You're not everyone's cup of tea, and that's
No.
okay.
Why your
That's
choice.
okay.
No one said for everybody.
No,
but at any-
no. Margaret just said, I know the KDWB jingle. I do.
Yeah.
I'm a jingle. Like, jingles stick in my brain forever.
They do.
Yep.
There you go. Well, good morning from Donald. Then we got Jake said hello. Kristen knows the. Oh yeah, you said a KWB jingle. KWB channel 63. That's when it was only on AM. That was only on AM though. KWB channel 63. There you go. They just put that up on there.
What does channel 63 mean?
on the radio.
6:30 AM on the radio
AM.
dial.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know KDWB was an AM station at any point.
That's how they started. Absolutely, they started as an AM station.
Well, I guess most of them did.
I will have this to say as we move forward here. None of you ever heard. I was on KDWB, but none of you ever heard me because I got fired after one day.
What did you do?
That was probably too good. Made everybody else look bad. You think that's what it was?
They're like, we can't have excellence on our network.
No, it just wasn't a good fit for me because it was very poppy. You know, real. Hey, God, everybody talk like this. Hey, man, Rob Sherwood, baby. I'm here, man.
Yeah,
you know, it's that kind of deal.
The radio voice. Yeah.
That was not my cup of tea at all. So, what are you gonna do? Rob Sherwood ended up being a general manager up in Duluth, and I haven't heard a word. Is Rob Sherwood still alive? Because he was a little bit older than the rest of us. I know that, but I don't know. I don't know if he's still alive or not. It's Robbie, baby. That's how he used to come on the air. It's Robbie, baby.
Oh, God.
All right.
Cool.
You can't find out if he. Well, I
can't find anything out about him at all.
I don't think Rob Sherwood
is him live at the Minnesota State Fair in 1973 on YouTube.
Can you play a little of the audio?
An hour and 21 minutes long.
Oh yeah, no, but can't you just play a couple of minutes of it or 1 minute of it?
I can find it on the laptop.
If I
play it on this computer, you won't be able to hear it.
I want Kristen to hear Rob Sherwood's delivery because it was very disc jockey like.
Oh, old school.
Yep.
I can't guarantee the clip I play will have him talking in it, but I can do my best. See, what does it start with? Yeah, because I don't want to play any music because they'll freak out at me.
That was him talking under you.
No, that's someone talking. I need to get past this music here. Oh, it includes all the music and stuff.
That's all right. You can still hear him talking.
Skip ahead 25 minutes. Nope, more music. Well, this is I don't think work off the cuff.
It's not a problem.
I'll try one more timestamp just to see. What could be a lady tonight? Nope, more music.
Well, it's going to be all music. He didn't talk. They didn't stop and talk. It was
they were
always
live at the
over.
State Fair, though. What? They just played music the whole time?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is they talked? Well, they played music the whole time, but they talked over the music going into
the end or the beginning.
It'll still get flagged. YouTube can find a 1 second clip of music from
I suppose,
a light year away. So what they do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. What is going on, Kristen Burt?
What is going on? Just a quick button on the Tiger Woods. He is going to rehab. So he admitted that yesterday and revealed that. So I think that's good, though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's good. I think that's a good conclusion to a very terrible story. So wish him well with that journey.
Is it rehab or country club rehab?
Probably a good follow-up question that he didn't say which rehab he was going to, obviously, but the country club versus the hardcore, and I think that oftentimes is where people go wrong. Mm-hmm. Ask Matthew Perry.
Yep,
he did a lot of country club rehab.
Yeah, you got to do the real work, which is
Do.
unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. And if you're at the ones where you're just like playing tennis and you get access to your phone and they let you come in and out to work and go to whether it's golf tournaments or to a Hollywood set.
Right. Yeah.
Are you really doing the work?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's not usually ideal, but we wish him well. And I guess that's the answer, that he won't be playing at the Masters. In case anyone was wondering.
Oh, see, that's sad. No Tiger at the Masters.
He skipped a few.
Yeah, he has.
Skipped, and he's not ready. I mean, obviously.
Right.
It'd be a distraction to everyone, too, if he showed up, I think, with everything going on. And maybe Rory McIlroy will win this year again.
It could be. I remember many, many years ago, I think it was at the Mall of America. I was at the Mall of America and Tiger Woods was there and he walked past me. He's taller than me. I
He's
had
tall.
no idea he was that tall.
Yeah, he is tall.
Somebody told me he's like 6'2" or something. Is that right? Is that accurate?
He's definitely under
Theoretically,
6
wouldn't
feet.
height be a good thing when you're golfing because it gives you more leverage to hit the ball?
Yeah, well, that's probably true. Yeah.
So, I
Seems
mean,
like most golfers are short, but I don't know.
I don't know
He's
either.
6'1", according to Google. That's
so with
debatable,
shoes on, he
but
was 6'2". Yeah.
Yeah.
So with wearing shoes, he was 6'2" then. Yeah. So he was a couple inches
Average-
taller than me, I remember.
average PGA Tour golfer is approximately 6 feet tall. So yeah, there you go.
Really? That
Well, I mean,
surprises me.
If you think about it, the leverage has got to be a big deal, especially when driving. I mean, you got an extra couple inches on your arms. That's a whole bunch of extra force.
Yep.
How about this Lord Darkstrider? Everybody's taller than you, Tom.
Oh, they're not.
Actually, no, they're not. A lot of people. I tell you one thing that's interesting that came up because somebody brought up the fact that in Florida, I'm about 4 to 5 inches taller than everybody. Catherine's
at least.
taller.
I'm tall here.
Yep, Catherine's very tall here.
Sometimes I see people coming down the road, taking the dog for a walk, and I'm like, oh, is that little kid by themselves?
I
It's a
know.
full-grown lady.
that would be me walking
No,
down.
I mean, you're probably about average for Florida, to be honest.
5'3".
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
pretty short.
Yeah.
5'3" down here is probably taller than some. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Tracy Swinson, glad I spent many years from the late 90s listening to you. My favorite line was, dickhead, dickhead, dickhead.
Oh, she left a part of it off, though.
What was that?
Check it out.
Yep.
It was dickhead, dickhead, dickhead. Check it out.
Wow.
By the way, I want to run something by you. I'm kind of, in a way, changing the subject, but it's not going to be a big response. I spend a lot of time on it. I was watching TV. I think it was YouTube I was watching or whatever. A song came out in 1952, I think it was. I think it was 1952. And one of the lines in the song, and apparently it was pulled off the radio after being on just a couple of days, but it was a woman, a very good singer. I didn't know who she was or whatever. She invites this guy over, singing a song, inviting a guy over to her house. And if that fits, you could play with my TITS.
Well,
It's in the song. And I'm like, what the?
I don't think I'll be Googling that to verify.
Oh, yeah. It's well, you should show the picture because there's a picture of the woman on the.
I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
Yeah,
is
do
this
you
going?
want to?
Oh no, she's fully dressed. So
Yeah, but
What,
it's just
what band is this?
I don't know. That's called. You can play with my
It's
TITS.
going to be difficult to find, believe me.
Yeah, and
Well, it's
the,
all over.
the algorithm he'll
computer.
get from that
Yeah.
search is probably not the best.
Yeah, that is true. That you put that word in there, it's like, holy
Yeah.
God, never mind.
HR walks into the building. Excuse me. What's on your Google search?
Any of our listeners, have you ever seen what I'm talking about? Because it was on again last night. I know that.
Yeah,
were
if any
talking
of you
about
out
it.
there know the name of the song and the band, then I'll look it up. But
It's
I'm not
a
going to
wo-
Google those lyrics.
A woman was the lead singer. I know that. It was a woman singing it. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? What is this now? Oh, Kristen and Tom, have you heard about the National Parks dirty music battle happening? No. What's that all about?
Social media. The social media accounts for the national parks have been taken over.
Really?
They're not run by, I don't know who's running them, but there's been a lot of, let's say, anti-Trump stuff going on all of the national park social media accounts over the while.
What do they mean by dirty music?
Battle. Dirty
Battle.
music battle. I don't know.
I haven't,
I mean-
Alex, I don't know about the dirty music battle, but what are you, I just know that the accounts have been taken over, so.
Oh, they have.
Yeah, but they've been taken over for like the last 2 years.
Oh.
God, unbelievable.
Yeah. After all the cuts were made with Doge, I don't know if whomever was running a current account still has it or if it's somebody else, but
Jill Weber delivered. Eddie Money has a "Teats Were Shaken" on the song line in the song "Shaken."
It's
Eddie
similar.
Money.
money.
Yeah.
Teats
is
were
not a-
shaken.
Pleasant word.
Teats?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting
Sounds
because
very agricultural.
a bunch of employees that were employed at Chick-fil-A were doing a dance where they were shaking the tatas like crazy, and they were all fired for doing it.
Oh, well.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
well, they posted it with Chick-fil-A behind them
In the
on the
background.
wall, which is
you
not
can't do
smart.
that.
No, you
Nope.
can't do that.
It happens a lot where employees, sometimes it starts out really good where they're like, I'm just talking about like our nuggets or what we're doing with the menu and blah, blah, blah. But then it
Yeah.
goes in a direction and then they get, and a lot of Chick-fil-A's are owned by franchise owners.
Yeah.
So it's separate.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
going to be about the
Yeah.
franchisee, not the actual company
Yep.
itself. But there is one called the Staples baddie. Have you guys heard of the Staples baddie?
No, I haven't.
So a Staples employee just started saying like, hey, like I work at Staples. These are all the cool things you could do at Staples and you're not taking advantage of your local Staples. So they're like, you can make up posters and you can buy this and you can buy these snacks and everything. And it has actually got increased foot traffic into Staples stores. Now, this person was doing it on their own personal account, but Staples has actually embraced them. They're called the Staples baddie. And she is hilarious, but people are actually going in and then showing Staples like, I went into your store, I haven't been in 10 years, and I got all my business cards printed up. And I think like there's a way for these companies to embrace what their employees are doing, but they have to like collaborate instead of just automatically firing them, because word of mouth and social media actually have a lot of benefits, and people don't want to see the corporate message. They want to see what life is like as a Staples employee, you know what I mean, inside the store.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the CEOs of the burger chains eating their burgers. It's like it's the CEO. It's inauthentic by default,
Exactly.
and no one trusts that.
Yeah, I forgot we went through all of that with the
Yeah.
McDonald's CEO being like, this is so good. And I don't know if you saw after that, like every CEO like jumped on.
The Burger
just-
King did it, and I think Wendy's might have done it. And yeah, but it's like, you're the CEO. Are you going to tell me this burger sucks? Don't buy it? Of course you're not. Even if you hate it, you're going to say, this is the best burger I've ever had in my life. So I'm not going to trust you.
Well, and also too, I think that it's like your CEO is making at least like let's say $5 million a year, if not more. Let's hear from the people that are making minimum wage.
Yeah.
And what that is really like inside the store. And I think that by Staples embracing their little Staples baddie employee, I mean, anything that's increasing foot traffic into a brick and mortar store in 2026 is great.
Yeah. I can't name the last time I've been into a Staples.
no.
Well, and I think what's interesting too is that they're literally like, okay, you guys all love Sharpies. These are all the Sharpies you can buy at Staples. I mean, it's so basic and simple. Like you sit there and think, well, that sounds really dumb. And then you see that this person gets like 500 comments about people talking about Sharpies that they can buy at Staples. It's brilliant is what it is.
Yeah, well, you just don't think of it. It's like, I need Sharpies. You're going to go to Target, right? Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Or order them on Amazon. You're not even going
Right.
to think about going to Staples. Yep.
Nope.
Got to tell you on the post of the listeners, the number one word taken over. There's 3 versions of it. There's tits, teats, and tatas.
Yeah.
I love it.
God,
The
they're
listeners are
naming it
currently
all.
They're currently wrestling with the censorship algorithm on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
I guess whatever works. That's all I have to say. Right?
Super Mario Galaxy movie, Andy,
Yep.
is getting great reviews.
Is it?
Is
It
it?
is, yeah.
Good.
We've actually last night before bed, they did like this teaser trailer where they just like flashed through all 3,000 cameos that are in the movie, and some of these they're literally like 4 or 5 frames long, so like a 20th of a second. So you have to pause the video and advance frame by frame. And we just like went through and, he named off all the characters that we saw. And some of them he was like, who's that? And there were some I didn't even know. So I don't know. I don't know if these are new characters or if they're just some game I've never played, but
Well,
he's
you're gonna
very
go to the-
excited for it.
You're going to the movie, right?
Maybe this weekend we'll see. I'm hoping
Sure, he'll love it.
Tim will have seen it and I can talk to him about it on Friday because I think he says he's going to see it.
Yeah, he probably went to a screening or got a screener of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And then
what
we
you
can
should
talk
have
about it.
done, is asked to go to a screener, because then the movie theater there wouldn't have been anybody in there.
Oh,
You could
yeah,
act-
that's-
kids could run around.
And you usually get free popcorn and a soda. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
You do?
You do when you go to screenings. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The
I never
whole
gave
thing
them to
is
me.
free.
I got
You could get on a
stuff
list.
for
You should try and get on a list for maybe they do them in Miami.
I'm good. I'm not driving an hour and a half just to watch a movie.
I'm not driving through Miami unless I
Yeah,
am
it's-
forced to.
It's a ways.
It's a ways, no question about it. But what
It's
the
a
hell?
ways to go for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
for a movie. That's why Philly Dog loved to go to all those screeners. He went to every screener I think there was with
Oh,
Tim
Philip?
for the
Oh,
longest time.
Absolutely, he did. There's no question.
Yeah.
Why'd you bring him up now? I'm
Free
sad.
popcorn.
The
Damn it,
free
Philip.
snacks. The free
Yeah,
snacks
free
are the best. I
snacks.
totally
Movie.
get that. That's a good thing.
It
Well,
is.
why'd she have to bring up a friend of mine who just died?
It's
Why
a
am I?
sweet memory that he loved
sake.
movies and he loved snacks. And we love that about people.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Okay. No,
Thank
you're
you,
absolutely
Kristen.
You're welcome.
You're absolutely
you.
right.
It is. No, it is though. But I think it's grief is a whole bunch of things when you lose someone. But I think also remembering all of the fun times.
Yep.
I have a question for you, Kristen Burt. I'm 74, right? And all the rest of it. Is it because I'm 74 that I think all movies are too long now?
No.
Oh, I agree with you that movies are too long.
way too long.
There's so many times, and I really wish studio executives and directors would start listening to what the discourse that's happening on social media, because you really get an idea of how people feel about movies. Because people are saying, I love to go to the movies. I like to sit down in a cool theater
Yep.
on a hot summer day with a
Yep.
snack. I can't sit there for 3 hours. I can't.
no,
I don't want
it's
to. It's
terrible.
uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I always look when I get invited to a screening. I look at the running time. I'm like 2
Yeah.
hours 45 minutes. Nope,
Nope.
I'm good.
Nope.
No.
If you give me like 2 hours or under, I mean, if it's like 1:45, 1:30, I'm like, oh, I'm there for sure. I don't care how bad the movie is.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 hours is kind of like my cutoff. I might do 2:15 if I'm really dying to see something, but
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm like, I don't need to see this.
It's too long.
Well, if you then you add in the trailers and everything else, and it's a whole afternoon. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's literally like I've been meaning to rewatch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which I haven't watched since it came out. I was a child at the time still.
He was a child.
But we haven't done that, and one of the reasons is because for the full edition of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the movies, 12 hours long.
What?
It's like
all of them.
we just don't have. So I mean, like, yeah, we could watch a third of the movie one day, and then 3 days later we can watch another third. But at that point, it's like we're not going to follow anything because we're cutting these long movies up into multiple days, sometimes multiple weeks, and it's just not worth the time, really.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just too long. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm a 90-minute guy. I like 90-minute movies.
I think that your whole life you've been anti long movies. I don't
I
think
have,
it's an
yeah.
age thing. I just don't think
Other
Yeah.
than The Godfather. Other than The Godfather, I thought
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
fine.
true. That was very long.
Yeah.
How long is
but
The Godfather?
And I just think like the rom-com and the 90-minute comedy need to just find their way back to the theater, because that was always just a fun Friday night movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're watching a really long movie and you're thinking, we could cut that out. It's like
Yeah.
edit the long sweeping view of the sea for, 6 minutes. It's like enough.
Or the action films where you're like, this 20-minute action sequence or the 40-minute action sequence, you're like, I could have taken 20 minutes out of it. And I feel like that every time I watch a James Cameron movie.
That was my problem with the second and I think also the third Matrix movie. It's like the
Flawed.
highway chase scene in the second Matrix movie was cool, but
Yeah.
it was so long. Oh, and the pod racing scene in the Phantom Menace, the Star Wars Episode 1. I'm pretty sure it was literally like 40 minutes of shots of this kid going like this.
You're like,
We don't need that much
Yeah.
footage of a
No.
kid pretending to ride a land speeder. We just don't.
And I mean, in an action movie, you expect a lot of things to be blown up and cars to flip and airplanes to crash into buildings. You expect all that stuff, but enough's enough. It's like once you've blown up one thing, it's
Right.
good. We don't need to blow up 5 things.
yeah. And I think that like if I were running all the studios, I would do the theatrical cut and do it somewhere between 90 minutes and 120. And then to be smart and get people to buy hard media again, because there's kind of a movement to buy the DVDs again and to buy the vinyl and everything, I would do a director's cut out on a DVD.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
Do it.
yeah,
I like it.
I like it.
Oh my God, it's time for you to go already. Why is that?
Time flew.
Time flew.
Time flew. That's what
Exactly. It
happened.
wasn't 3 hours long, so it didn't feel too long.
Yeah, I know. I'm not to overstay my welcome.
I'm not kidding you. Sitting there for 2.5 hours. I took a friend to an appointment, I guess it was, and I thought they're going to do it the same time I was doing my appointment, which they did, but his lasted another 2.5 hours. It was 3.5 hours. I'm like, oh,
I said, that's when you call an Uber for them.
yes, you should get an Uber. You should get an Uber.
I gotta
go. All right, young lady, a brilliant report, I thought.
Brilliant. I'll try and bring that
Brilliant.
brilliance tomorrow.
Brilliance tomorrow again. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We will be right back after this word from Bradshaw and Bryant. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Pally?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget, and now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bradshaw and Bryant bringing you more of the show. And now, owner of Shed and Fence, Ben Simon. How you doing?
That's right.
Hey,
Hello.
doing good, doing great. Thanks for having me on.
And I got to ask you a question. Is this the time of year when the fence industry kicks into high gear because all the snow's melting and all the rest of it, or melted?
100%. It goes crazy.
I bet.
As soon as we get that first little shot of sunshine, it starts getting crazy. Then the snow, then we slow down for a week.
Right.
It's a roller coaster.
No, it is a roller coaster, but yeah. What's interesting, when I was a little kid, and it was North Minneapolis, so it was a different deal. There was hardly any fencing around anybody's, property, their house, their whatever. And now there's not one house without fencing. Did people finally realize you're going to have to put a fence between you and the sidewalk, because otherwise people are just going to do whatever they want on your property? Is that part of the whole deal? They just want some privacy, or?
There's a lot of that, especially these last few years and since
Yeah.
COVID. People want their security too. They want people staying out of their business and out of their lives, and then pets. The pets ownership has boomed since COVID, so everyone needs a fence for their dog.
Yeah, the dog thing. I mean, when you were a kid, especially in North Minneapolis, you had a dog in the backyard. What'd you do with it? You chained it up.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's right.
People don't do that anymore. They let the dogs roam free, and that means a lot of dogs need a fence, or else they will just run into the street and
Or toddlers,
Yeah, that's why we got a fence. Is we had a dog and we had a toddler, and both of them were prone to wandering. So
No wandering.
in that yard.
I should repeat, the guest is, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Simon, owner of Shed and Fence, and you're located where?
Our shop is currently in Watertown, Minnesota.
That's what I thought, yeah.
currently.
Not for long.
Oh,
Yes, we actually just bought a location in Buffalo, Minnesota, right off 55.
oh.
A little bigger, is it?
Those of you wondering why Ben is on today, it is because Melissa is an employee of Shed and Fence.
She is.
And so we have an interesting story about how all that happened, because she's the one who made this happen. And if you,
I heard I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I heard the reason that Ben did contact her is she was driving around tearing all this fencing out of the ground and throwing it in the back of the pickup. That's not how it happened. That wasn't it.
Close, but not quite.
It was close. That was very, very close. We're talking about the fact that when I was a kid, nobody had a fence around their yard. I mean, nobody. And now it's very difficult to find anybody who doesn't have a fence around their yard. Probably a good thing, don't you think? I mean, for your business, it's great. But I mean, I think for privacy and safety, it's a really good idea to get a fence.
Yep.
It is, and it establishes your legal boundaries. So
Ooh, very good point. That is a very good
gives you that
point.
peace of mind.
I have a question. So many, many, many years ago, we installed some horse fencing that was vinyl. And throughout the years, it kind of broke down with some, the UV rays and I guess acid rain, who knows what it was. And it kind of turned sort of moldy, modelly looking, and it was really hard to clean. Is there any way to rejuvenate that, or do you need to replace it?
There are some products out there that you can absolutely spray on it, but a lot of times, or once it reaches a certain point, it might just be too far gone. So it
Okay.
depends on how long it's been let go, I would say.
Okay.
Ben, a perfect example of why I love doing this show. Moby Pete says, "Oh, Andy's getting a free fence."
Well, it'd have to go on top of the one we already bought, but
Well, you need 12 feet instead of 6. There you go. That's what it is.
12-foot chain link.
my-
Jared says, "Do you work near Mora, Minnesota?"
Yeah, he needs a fence.
We do. We
There
do.
you go.
Yes. Yep. We pretty much get all over. There's not too many places we do not go.
Yeah, Melissa does a lot of the leads from like the Facebook ads and stuff, and sometimes you'll get leads from like Colorado or Maine. I don't think you go that far.
What?
We
Yeah,
don't
people-
quite go that far.
You're not
Yeah,
global
people will
yet.
click on these and they'll be like, yeah, I'm interested in a fence," and it's like, do you not see that they're located in Minnesota? I don't know.
Yeah. This
So
is China. We need some help on the Great Wall.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. The great
We've been as
fence.
far north as Ely, Minnesota. We've gone up
Really?
to Ely and Duluth a couple of times. Beautiful
Wow.
up there, but not
is.
very often.
It is a beautiful area up there. There's no question about that. Look at that. Got to keep the toddlers corralled.
You do.
Very good
do.
point.
You really do.
Oh, you sure do.
Oh, God. There's no question about that. How'd you get involved in the business in the first place, Ben?
We've been doing it. I've been in the business about 7 years. Did it for a couple years part time, but was just looking for something to do on my own and noticed such a huge need, especially in the West Metro, west of 494. Most of the fence companies are North Metro, Minneapolis. So just noticed a huge need for it out here. Started with sheds, and now sheds is kind of, we partnered with another company to take care of our shed leads because fences has gotten so busy.
God, that's amazing. Well, people do want their privacy, they want to feel safe, and a fence definitely is. Matter of fact, one of the first fences that were built in North Minneapolis, not only did they put a fence up with a gate, but the gate was locked, so you couldn't just walk up and open the gate. The gate was locked, so it's like, you stay out there. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, nowadays everybody asks, does it lock? Do the gates lock? It's a
Really?
huge concern, and I'd say every one of them, every one that we installed has a lockable latch.
Are people just wandering onto other people's property, or what is going on?
We've had some situations. We've done some fences in front yards in Minneapolis where absolutely that is 100% the case, and that is 100% why they're getting a fence.
Yep.
What happened? Honestly, matter of fact, I was talking to a guy from Duluth today, and being from Minneapolis, St. Paul, talking to the guy from Duluth and all the rest of it, and blah blah blah. He said it's not just the Twin Cities; that it's pretty much everywhere. That people are acting really weird in the state of Minnesota. So a lot. I got to believe that the fence building is ticking up because people don't want to be around people they don't know. It's really weird.
Well, if you think about it with the internet, it's kind of,
Yeah,
you don't want
yeah.
people taking photos of your kids in the backyard. And
Yep.
it's just, it's kind of a situation. Yeah.
Yeah, every year these last 5 years has been busier and busier, and this year's no different. This is the busiest we've ever been.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's good news.
I like We talked about inquiries from far away. Tyre in there with his ice cream truck says the best inquiry we ever received about the ice cream truck came from Sydney, Australia. I mean, they
Yeah, let
do
me-
need ice cream. It's pretty hot over there, but I don't know if you can get it to them.
Funny.
That's a good call right
Jared
there.
just asked, do you guys do free estimates?
We absolutely do. Yes. Yes, we absolutely do. We can send out an estimator to your home, or we can do it virtually online. These county plat maps that they have out there are very accurate. We can do virtual measurements from an aerial view, and you don't even have to schedule a time for us to come out. It makes it really simple.
Oh, that's wonderful news. And how do people reach out to you?
They can call, text, or email. Our website, shedandfenceco.com. Main phone number. But Melissa does a fantastic job on Facebook and our helping with our website. So she makes it very easy to get in touch.
That is wonderful. Now, I got to ask you, the average yard fence back in the 1960s was, what was that, like 3 feet or 3.5 feet high or something like that?
3.5 foot chain link was very common in
That's
Minneapolis.
what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I asked that is because I once won a bet. My friend Andy Fisher bet me that I couldn't jump over this fence, this fenced-in yard. And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I don't think you're going to make it over that." I said, "It's not that high." And I jumped over the 3.5 foot fence, and he was just floored that I said, "It's 3.5 feet. It's not that high, really."
Are we talking jumping or vaulting? Because those are very different.
I suppose that is true, yes.
You didn't get your trousers caught up like most of the people on YouTube?
Yeah, people on YouTube get they're hanging by their butt crack. It's a real nice look. No question.
Ollie in the chat here wants to know, do you do repair work of fences that you didn't install?
You know, we always will take a look at it and assess and see if we'd be a good fit for her. Some companies will immediately say no, but we absolutely want to help if we can. So yes, absolutely, we can get some pictures, or again, we'd happy to send somebody out and talk through a repair process. And if we can't do it, we'd happily, just say, hey, this might be a better project for a handyman or somebody that, might be a little less expensive, depending on the type of repairs. So every situation's a little bit different.
Ben, this is a perfect example of people who have been listening to me since 1970, something like that. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Oh, no. Oh, I hope it didn't scroll up far enough. Oh, there it is on the bottom. Lord Darkstrider. I could step over a 3.5 foot fence.
Are
It's
you
like,
a giant?
Oh, can you really? Say, do you have any pants that have a 45-inch inseam or? Honest to God, it's like, settle down, Pat. I could step over a 3.5 foot fence. I love our listeners, honestly. The comments you people put up are fantastic, all of them. I just love them because you all take shots at me. But other than that, don't worry about it. But in any case, yeah. Are there in the city? I bet you there are not a whole lot of houses that don't have fencing anymore. I bet almost everybody's got a fence now because it's a different world, isn't it?
Especially in Minneapolis and the
Yep.
cities, there's a lot of fences out there. The suburbs is kind of hit and miss, but people are building these brand new houses and instantly installing a fence for their dogs.
Yep.
But you start getting into the suburbs and, they might be 50-50 or even, 60% don't have them. But they're coming. So at some point that house is going to sell. Next owner's going to have a dog. And before you know it, every house in all these suburbs are going to have them as well.
Yeah, as a former real estate agent, it definitely adds value to your home
It
to have
does,
a
yeah.
fence. Most people want fences.
All right,
It's
Catherine.
funny you say that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So you had said the realtor thing, and we have installed a couple of fences where realtors have told them that it decreases value, and they've taken the fence out prior to
What?
sale.
Well,
So-
if it's in disrepair or
Well,
ugly,
yeah, crappy
yes.
fence,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but not a good fence.
Good point.
Something like that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I think security's one. First of all, I think fences look really good around a yard anyway. I think it looks good. And that extra bit of security, I really do like that a lot. That would make sense, I would think. No doubt about it. The people still go with the single open fence, or do they all do the double open, the two doors swinging opposite ways now?
There's definitely a lot of double gates going in
Oh,
for,
yeah. Yep.
especially in the new developments where they maybe haven't built a deck or a pool yet, and they're thinking about their contractors that may have to get skid loaders back there, stuff like that. So a lot of double gates going in, a lot of double gates.
I remember when you bought your mother a house in Golden Valley, Minnesota, right? And your brother Tony was living with her,
Yep.
and he got a girlfriend who had two little kids, and he decided that he was going to buy an above ground pool. So we put it in, and pretty soon he got a knock on the door from the city saying, "You can't have a pool without a fence."
Yes.
And he's like, "What? This is new information to me." So he had to take the pool down because he didn't want to pay for a fence, because I don't even know if he had a job at that time.
Funny,
So,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, their cities always get their hands in things in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, they do want want to see a fence with a pool every time.
Yep.
Geez, I got Andy Jacobson. Do you install 12-foot fences? Are you expecting the
Whoa.
Norman Conquest to come into your
Gee,
neighborhood?
wow. Prison? Are you putting up a prison?
We've done a couple 10s. We absolutely could install 12s. A lot of times those need to be engineered though to do them properly, and somebody's got to sign off on this post with this fence, and so we've quoted some things that have engineered spec. We haven't done anything 12 feet high yet though. 10 is our current height.
You could
that
probably do
we've done.
12 with a razor wire if you really want to keep people.
Yeah, there you go. 10 with razor wire. There you go. It's probably good enough.
And actually, I shouldn't say that. We've done a 18-foot backstop. So I mean,
Oh
we've
my
done
God.
we've done baseball field stuff, but we've never built per se a 12-foot fence line per se. So
Yeah,
So, Catherine, look up at the ceiling's what, 8 feet?
I think so.
So he's talking about how big was the biggest fence you put in?
18-foot backstop.
So it would be 2.5 times higher
Yeah.
than this ceiling. It's like, oh
Well,
my
that's
God.
almost 2 stories tall. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
want anybody
tall.
getting hit in the face with a baseball.
Right.
Yes,
right.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
know,
just
like
down the street from Andy and Melissa at the Watertown CLC. So it's not. It's in the neighborhood of where the shop and Andy and Melissa are. So
I do love Watertown. Watertown is a great town. It really is. I like it a lot. A lot of good restaurants, and I like the parade every year down the main street. It's a great place, no
it was
question.
so hot last year, though. Oh my God.
It's always
end of it,
hot.
it was like
It's always hot. I'm like, why
By the
didn't you
end of
guys
it, it was
start
like
this at 6 a.m.? Start it at
crawling
6
up the
a.m.
street there. Or just not have it in the hottest week of the hottest month. Please.
no kidding.
all
I
I'm
suppose that's
asking.
probably true. What are you gonna do?
Last year I brought portable fans and ice neck things, and I mean I tried
Yep.
to keep the kids cool.
Eli wants to know how much it would cost to build a border between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Holy buckets! That's a great question.
I
He
love
says we
Minnesota.
need to add the cheesehead border. Is what he says.
God.
Love it. Love it. The new wall.
Yep.
Well, it is kind of interesting because I was just talking to a man who's from Duluth, Minnesota, and he was talking about that very thing, that people in Minnesota, apparently people from Wisconsin don't want to come into Minnesota because it seems so unfriendly right now. We were just talking about that about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I know somebody that sold her Edina house and moved to Wisconsin. They
Why?
moved to the cabin. They're just like, I don't want to live here
Yeah,
anymore.
I know. But I don't understand. Why don't we step up and go, you know what? You're a Democrat, good. You're a Republican, good. But anything else, you want to go further left, further right, get the hell out. It's just too extreme. My God, we stop condemning everyone you see because it's not you. But that's why I bet you the fencing business right now is probably as hot as it's ever been, I would think.
100%.
Not a surprise at all. No, it's not. I mean, honest God, even if Catherine and I lived on the 20th floor, I'd probably fence in the deck anyway.
Well, you kind of have to, so you don't fall off.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose that is true.
Got to have some sort of rail.
I meant all the way to the ceiling. That was what I
Oh.
meant. No, but I don't know. It like I said when we started this conversation, fences. Oh, and by the way, I should talk a bit about the shed part of it too, because you do shed and fence. So, do a lot of them go together? I want a shed and a fence, and I mean,
It's not quite as common as you'd think, usually
No,
because people are
really.
budgeting accordingly.
Yeah, true.
Both big investments. So
Yeah.
we do see a lot of repeat customers a year or two or three later, putting in one or the other after we've done one. We do have one coming up, though. Gail just booked a combo shed and fence install. So every now and then it does happen.
I can see, I mean, after you get your yard all nice and you got the fence, and then all of a sudden you need a weed whacker, and then you need a bigger lawnmower because you don't want to be pushing one around anymore. And all of a sudden your entire garage is used up by lawn equipment. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
is nice to have a shed.
We've got a shed, and it's there. Well, especially out where we live, there's a lot of old sheds, like 40, 50-year-old sheds, and
Oh,
like they're sinking into the ground. They're not square anymore, that sort of thing. And there's going to be a lot of shed replacements in the near future in that area. I can tell you that much.
Well, we do have to take a very quick break. You got a couple more minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Appreciate
we'll take
it.
a break. We'll be right back right after this.
Big news, Apple Valley. The dealership you've trusted for years, Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley, has a new name. Cunes Buick GMC in Apple Valley. But don't worry, the things that matter the most, they're not changing. You're going to see those same friendly faces there, like Brett Paul. The same local team in sales, service, and parts that's kept the Twin Cities coming back year after year, they're still there. At Cunes Buick GMC in Apple Valley, they're bringing you even more. A larger network of inventory, expanded service resources, and backing of a family-run dealership known for exceptional customer service, quality vehicles, and unbeatable prices. That has earned Cunes the reputation of one of the most trusted automotive groups in the Midwest. So whether you're shopping for your next vehicle, servicing the one you love, or just saying hello, you'll feel right at home. Because while the sign out front is new, the heart of this place hasn't changed one bit. The family just got a little bit bigger. Go say hi to Brett Paul at Cunes Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Cunes GMC in Hastings. New name, same local teams, same commitment to you. Online at CunesAppleValley.com.
Let me tell you about my bank. That, of course, would be North American Banking Company with a Bilski. When it comes to banking, it's all about trust, and that's what you get with them. They've been around since 1998. They've always made it clear they're here to give you a better banking experience with a focus on the local community. And you won't be dealing with some AI chatbot either. You'll get straight answers and quick decisions from real people that know you, your situation. They're always ready to help. So if you're tired of the big national banks and want something better, stop by and see my friends at North American Banking Company. Visit nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Simon, owner of Shed and Fence. I got to be honest with you. I do like the look of a property with a fence. There's no question. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I think what it was, and I'm almost certain about this, but maybe, I don't know. But I saw the very first time on television a picture of the fence and gate that Elvis Presley put in around his house. And I'm like, I'm doing that someday. That's cool, man. I mean, it had the big swooping, the swooping top and down his house. I saw that and I was like, I got to get a fence and a gate.
do you do the ornamental wrought iron fencing too?
We do, yeah, and a lot of it now is just pre-made steel panels.
Okay.
The handmade wrought iron stuff is kind of a thing of the past, but there's still some beautiful entry gates that are handmade wrought iron, beautifully
yeah.
done.
Really?
Yep. So
It
We got a
is
couple of
gorgeous.
questions from the audience. So, like specialty fencing, this guy, I don't know what's going on in his neighborhood, but he's asked about razor wire and electric fencing.
Oh my.
Hopefully, he's like a rancher, but
I love
man,
that.
I'll be honest, we've never done razor wire, and the only place I've seen that is around prisons. I mean,
Yeah.
that's some sharp stuff. It's
I've
not
se- I've-
something that.
I've seen it around like lumber yards and that kind of stuff, close to railroad tracks where people could steal it and just throw it on
yeah.
a train and off they go with all your stuff.
Well, Ben, the city would have to allow them to do that, right?
100%. And
Yeah.
most cities are not going to allow,
No.
we've done miles of barbed wire. Barbed
Yeah,
wire is
yep.
pretty common. The 3 strands of barbed wire on top of a fence for security, pretty common. That razor wire, though, that's a different animal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
scary
Nasty stuff. Nasty
Yep.
stuff.
And then someone else asked, what did they ask? Let me see if I can find. Oh, yeah, that's a good question, actually. So when you have 2 houses and they both have fences and there's like a foot wide strip between the two fences. What's the deal with that? Like, is that just like no man's land at that point?
That is a great question, and it does happen periodically. But yes, it's pretty much. I've seen fences where you can't even get a mower through. Now you got to decide if
Yep.
you're going to put pea gravel or mulch between them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's and a lot of that stems from either the first person that installed it didn't go through the city or said, "Hey, I'll just install this a foot off my property line." They're never going to think about their neighbors building the fence or anything like that. And the city may say, "Hey, if you're within 2 feet of that property line, you got to get a neighbor's signature." And some
Yeah.
people, we're seeing it more and more. I don't want to deal with my neighbor. Nah, I'd rather not deal with my
Oh
neighbor.
yeah.
I'll just, it's
really?
very surprising. We come from a smaller town, and we grew up in Brooklyn Center, where you run the neighborhood with everybody. You know all your
Right.
neighbors, and
Yep.
more and more people. I don't want to deal with my neighbor. You know,
Huh.
then they lose a foot around the perimeter, or every city's a little bit different. So a lot of times it stems from that.
You can end up losing dozens, hundreds of square feet that way for your lawn if
Yeah,
you're
you could.
like, depending on the shape of your property.
All because you don't want to talk to your neighbor?
Yeah, but I don't
Mhm.
doubt it, honestly.
I mean, the
Unfortunately,
worst thing they can say is no.
that's true.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just
Exactly.
gave me a great memory. I just had a memory pop in my head. My buddy Alan lived in North Minneapolis on 4th Street and Plymouth Avenue. And his father decided that they were going to move out of the neighborhood. And all of my buddy's friends, including me, went after him because, oh, you're moving to a rich neighborhood, Brooklyn Center. Every time I hear Brooklyn Park or Brooklyn Center, but mostly Brooklyn Center, oh, that's where all the rich people live.
Oh, funny. For me, it was growing up in Brooklyn Center when someone was moving out to St. Michael, Albertville, Otsego. That's how I remember that. That was the rich neighborhood then when I was growing up.
Well, the
90s.
first gets further and further out every year, doesn't it?
Yeah, I remember a couple of Alex's friends in junior high. A lot of people started moving out
Oh, yeah.
of the area.
Well, God, we grew up in Dayton, and
Yep.
when I was a kid, when we moved out there when I was 2, I mean, property was cheap. No one was out there.
Yeah.
It was farm country, and
Yep.
now houses are expensive as hell because everyone's moving out there because it's
Yeah.
everything's creeped out in that direction, and now it's not that far out from things, but it's
No.
far
No.
enough out that you don't have to deal with all the other stuff.
Right.
I suppose that is true, but and again, I've said this a couple of times already, but I'll say it again. I do love the look of a fence around a property. I just think it makes it look a lot better. And maybe it was because of Elvis Presley when I was 5 years old,
Absolutely.
But I just kind of I like the look of a fence around a property. I like the look.
Yeah, and so many people think of fence and they think the old galvanized chain link
Yeah,
fence, and
yep,
that's just kind
yep.
of honestly, it's a thing of the past, except for the commercial. A lot of the new neighborhoods are requiring, if you're doing chain link fence, it's got to be black. A lot of new neighborhoods in that St. Michael, Albertville area, they're not even allowing chain link fence. It's got to be an ornamental or a vinyl, something maintenance free. So the big in the HOAs where you got to follow their codes and that everything looks the same, cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
our
but-
HOA in Minnetonka, they've got I think it was built in the 80s, maybe 70s, that complex, and the old wooden fences, they've been repaired so many times. They're like, what do we do? Do we redo all the bylaws to just take them all down? Do we replace them all? What do we do? And it's like, I would want to replace them because once again, people have dogs, and privacy because it's, everyone's squashed in together. So you don't really want somebody staring at you, when you're trying to have a backyard barbecue. So yeah, I don't know. That's another consideration because it's all wooden privacy fences. But
Yep.
back in those days, were they treated even?
Probably a lot of cedar and a lot of treated, a little bit of both, I would say. But and it's this, and that hasn't changed. The materials now is a lot of treated or cedar. But that's an interesting argument, and you could see both sides of it. Some people build a wood fence, never touch it, and it's grayed out, and boards are cracking, and it's falling over, and 5 or 7 years, the posts are rotting out, stuff like that. And, you know, at the same time, it can look beautiful if done right. You can build them on steel posts so they last forever. And it's a very interesting argument, and I can see both sides of it. I love a nice, beautiful cedar fence.
Yeah, they are pretty.
But if neglected, they can
Yep.
gray out and look rough.
What do you have to do to them to keep them nice?
We recommend staining them at least every 3 years. We also build all of our wood fences on steel posts. So that's going to guarantee that the wood post will never rot out. The most common point of failure with the wood fence is the post rotting in the ground.
Yeah.
And cedar's a very soft wood. We had a cedar fence put in our previous property. It was the one we lived in before this. And so we ended up doing like a bunch of little projects with the leftover cedar because, they cut everything to size. And then they were like, hey, do you want all this scrap wood? And we're like, sure, why not? And it is like you could probably indent it just with your fingers if you tried hard enough. So that stuff you really have to take good care. You have to take good care of it, or else it'll just kind of start to degrade.
Before we put in the vinyl fence out at the farm, there was split rail, which was
I remember that.
which was taken down by a tornado.
Yeah, that was
And,
probably fine.
I remember seeing wasps sitting there,
Yes.
and they were just like scraping it to go
Yep.
make their paper nest.
Yeah,
They would have these
paper.
grooves. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's that soft that an insect can just take it.
My Moby Pete just posted, my neighborhood is so safe, even the kids don't get stolen.
He said Kias.
Oh, it's Kias. I thought it said kids. And then it says young urban favorite vehicle because they're so easy to boost.
Yeah, Kias apparently are super easy to hotwire. I don't really know.
Really?
That's the.
Well, thank God he didn't say the kids.
Yeah.
Thank God I misread that. Well, that's because I was going to read it when it was in full print, but it moved up kind of
Yeah.
where half of it kind of disappeared, so I couldn't read it. And
Janelle
thank God
has
you
a good
could.
point. All of the drunk drivers veering off the road up there and slamming into the fence. Is there anything you can do about that to keep people from slamming into your vinyl fence over and over?
Oh man, no. And aside from you could put the posts closer together and use steel posts inside the vinyl posts is how we install. I mean, that's gonna,
That'll
that's
stop
gonna-
them,
Yeah, sure will.
but it might kill them too. I don't know. I know
Good.
it wasn't even that. It's not that big of a curve up there on County
Yeah,
Road 13.
basically
But
straight.
every year, a couple of drunk people just I don't know what they're doing up there, but they're not doing the speed limit.
I guess not. Well, Ben, you're going to have to come back again sometime. Keep us in the know on the shed and fence business, how everything's going. People want security. There's no question about that. That's a great thing, and we'd love to have you on again, Pally.
Hey, I appreciate the time, and you guys have a great afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. Wrap things up right after this. Heart of the North Tours is another amazing one you don't want to miss. The Canadian Rockies Tour. It's September 16th through the 24th. Get ready for sweeping vistas, serene valleys, and postcard perfect scenery on our Canadian Rockies adventure. Travel in comfort, enjoy thoughtful sightseeing stops, and discover the beauty of places like Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper, and more. This is one journey you don't want to miss. For more information, go to heartofthenorthtours.com or call 833-424-2700 to speak to Mike, who is a pro at arranging these amazing tours. Limited space, so book your spots today. Wonderful idea. You've heard me and my family rave about fresh, dry snacks, and we and the grandkids love them too. Fresh, dry snacks are real food, no junk. They're made from real fruits, real vegetables, real ingredients, not powders, not fillers, not dried snacks, not fried snack stuff. What's on the label is what's in the bag. It's called the Fresh Dry Difference. They use a proprietary fresh dry process. They dry for flavor, not longevity. The result, real crunch, real nutrients, no frying, no oils. Right now they offer 5 veggie blends, 12 different fruit options, 6 granola bite flavors. Go to freshdrysnacks.com and use code Barnard, BARNARD, for 10% off your first order. Shipping is always free on orders over $100. We are back, wrapping things up here. What else is going on? Anything we should know about?
I can tell the story of how we ended up with shed and fence, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that's a good
How
idea.
Melissa ended up there. We actually, I talked about how we needed a fence because of Daisy and Ethan. And so we got a fence. And after we got the fence, we were talking with them, and they were talking about how they need like a social media person because everyone needs a social media person now.
Oh yeah.
And Melissa's like, I kind of do that for the current that she used to do it for this show. And she was like, yeah, that's basically what I do right now. And they were like, hey, you want to be our social media person? And she was like, sure. And there you go.
Yeah,
She's been working for them
there.
for almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
If you can believe it. She brought out this sweater. She was like, I got this 3 years ago. I'm like, there's no way you've been working there for 3 years because it really doesn't feel like that long. But
Time flies when you got little kids.
yeah, it does, and it also doesn't at the same time somehow. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, just
I
wait till they
suppose
get in
that's true.
school full time. It goes so fast.
Oh yeah. Well, Ethan's already. I think he's going to do full-time school next semester. So
Oh.
yeah.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know.
Would he be in first grade now then, or still?
No, he would be
kindergarten?
in Not even. I don't even know if he'd be in kindergarten technically.
Oh really?
Because he's not even 5 yet, and he wouldn't be.
Oh, he's gonna be 5 in November. Yeah.
It
So.
depends on when your birthday falls.
Yeah.
Right, and when you're born at the end of the year, you tend to be one of the older kids in your class because just like that's how it's split.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He's going to be in school, and then Colin's already. By then, he's going to be 2 already.
God.
I know.
Yep.
Time
I
is
know.
flying
And
by.
then 2-3 more years after that, he'll be full time. And if we stop having kids, that's it. We got full time school kids.
There you go. Well, I got to
It's,
tell you this, Andy, that last night when Mom and I went to this event and all these big shots were there, somebody told me today, didn't name anybody or whatever, there were over 10 billionaires in that room last night. 10 of them.
Billionaires.
Billionaires.
God, I should have begged for
Billionaires are
money.
not as uncommon as they used to be.
No, they're not.
Well, how
You're
many- let's
absolutely right
see.
about that.
How many billionaires are there? I'm guessing there's got to be, let's see, 3,400.
3,400 billionaires?
So yeah,
Holy
there you
God.
go. 10 billionaires isn't even that much these days. The
No, it's
combined net worth of those people is $20 trillion.
Well, every 10 minutes, I get a social media post about how they're building another thing for Billionaires Row in West
Yep.
Palm Beach.
Right,
That they're,
right.
it's just amazing how many people have money enough to buy a $47 million condo.
Yeah,
It's just
it's because
amazing.
everyone does, like, they all have the same stuff. It's like everyone has Netflix, everyone has Amazon, that sort of thing. Everyone
That's
uses
true.
an iPhone, everyone's using Instagram. It's not
Yeah.
like 20, 30 years ago when there was all sorts of different, like, different channels, different devices, that sort of thing. Now everyone's always got the same stuff. So if you're in control of Amazon, you're guaranteed to make billions of dollars because everyone on earth is giving you money.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, well, Tire Carver just asked how many are in Florida, Andy, and I know during the season there's a lot of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
it depends
yes.
on the season. I'm sure a
'Cause-
lot of them go down to Palm Beach for the cold
In
season.
Miami, Fort Lauderdale, they're all over the place. Naples is another
117
place.
of them call Florida their home.
Yep.
So there you
Yeah.
go. Over 100 billionaires just in Florida.
Does it say where most of them are? I assume they're
They
probably
probably live on the island.
I
live
would-
on Palm Beach Island, I would think, yeah.
But,
They
like I
must.
said, there's more and more condos that are so expensive that you've got to have a lot of money to afford one of those.
Yeah, didn't that one just to the west of the not the Okeechobee Bridge, the what's the north one?
Ponciana, Royal Ponciana.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just built like a luxury condo high rise right by there, right?
They're building them all the way up past where the homeless are in the park. I mean, they're building them everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
I know. And I
just-
looked at some of these places. I wonder if I could find that place. It's like it almost looks like a boat. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Are you thinking about the Bristol?
The Bristol, maybe. Beach.
Yeah, there
Bristol.
were a lot of rumors that Elon Musk was buying one of those, but he never was going to buy one of those.
No.
Yes, I am thinking of the Bristol.
Yeah, that's on the Okeechobee Bridge, right in front of the Okeechobee Bridge.
Oh, it is
The middle
Okeechobee? I thought it
bridge.
was the northern
No.
bridge. Huh.
Nope. No, we used to
Let's
walk
see.
Jude around that all the time.
Yep.
He loved it because there were a lot of lizards running around.
Yes.
They made
yeah.
they made them have access for the public to be able to walk along the intercoastal waterway. So that was kind of nice.
Oh, here you go.
Go in
They got some affordable units now. 13.7 million for
Yeah,
this
there
one.
you
Is that
go.
all? Wonder
Yeah,
what the
it's 3
HOA
beds, 4
is.
baths. So I mean, yeah, think about that. Oh, this one's on sale, down $2 million. It's only 23.5 now. So make your move now.
God, it's just incredible.
$23 million house. Well, we were in a $300 million house last night, or property, not just one
Yeah,
house.
I know, but it's just like insane.
Weren't they trying to tell everybody that the Mar-a-Lago was only worth about 17 million when they were
Yeah.
going
Yeah, I
after
remember.
him for some other thing that
Yep.
he was lying about his net worth or something?
Yeah.
My God. And we were sitting with Mike Lindell, and whatever you think about Mike Lindell, he's a great guy, very
Great
supportive
guy.
friend, and
Yep.
and he has been bashed and trashed
Oh, he
and
sure
beaten
has.
up by the left so hard and the media so hard. And he still remains an optimistic, very
Yep.
hopeful, upbeat guy. He's running for governor, apparently.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, we should have him on the show and talk about that
We
because
should.
I
We
did.
mean, the stuff that they have done to him is just incredible.
No,
too.
there's
Yeah.
no excuse for and I just don't understand. Look, like I said, I've been a Democrat, I've been a Republican. I don't have a party right now. It's not that I don't like the Democrats and Republicans. I just passed it off. I'm of the age now that I think younger people should get most of the vote because it's their future they're looking at. Why people want to be so mean. I have been treated like absolute shit by some people because they think I don't agree with their politics.
Yeah.
First of all, how would you even know that? Because I don't talk about politics anymore, hardly at all. You know, back in the. And by the way, I should mention, they don't take any punches for this, but it was the people behind the scenes that drove my show to be political anyway. It
Yeah.
wasn't even my idea; it was somebody else's idea. No, I did it, so I'll take responsibility for that. But they never took a punch for it because they were hiding behind the curtain.
Well, at one time, I mean, politics in Minnesota has just gotten in your face about every tiny little
Everything.
thing. I mean,
Everything.
it's like that Hmong police officer that was nowhere near George Floyd and was in jail for 6 years, and
Yeah.
then there's these people stealing 12 million, 15 million, and they're doing a year or less.
You're talking about that woman that wears the hijab all the time.
I don't know
Is she up to
who.
30 million now?
Oh no! Well, this is the people for the Feeding Our Future
Oh,
scandal.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're getting less than a year, and they'll
I
probably
know.
get 6 months with good behavior. It's just, I mean, the cop was never touched George Floyd. Why would he go to jail for 6 years?
I don't know. It's just because is he white?
No, he's Hmong, I think.
The guy's in prison?
I
Yeah.
think he
Oh,
just,
yeah, him. I remember him now. I remember who you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, he was like a new cop. He had
Unbelievable.
no idea there's no reason that he had to go to jail. It's just absolutely disgusting.
Well, that's
All
why
right.
people are moving out of Minnesota in droves.
It's time for some charity for one of our poor listeners.
All right.
Okay.
It's probably because I am a poor, but it's hard to perceive what $20 million in the form of a house looks like.
Yeah.
Well, wonder no more, because I've got the pictures right here.
Is that from the Bristol?
This is the $20 million unit in the Bristol. There's actually one that's even more expensive, $78 million. If you want to
Oh,
go through that one,
You probably have the
one
you probably
too.
have the top floor. I guess a woman, a very wealthy woman, I can't remember, she owned some sort of cosmetic company or something like that. She
Yeah.
just built and bought a unit like this and then died shortly after.
Yeah.
So it's been
Yep.
on the market for a while.
I got to be
there's
honest
always
with you.
this weird, like, look at that thing on the left. It's the most hideous
What thing?
that sculpture.
The sculpture, the body sitting there.
And
Oh, I
Rich
thought it was
Harris is
somebody
always-
looking out the window.
No.
Oh.
It's like a pewter sculpture of like a naked person. And expensive houses like this, I find, always have that kind of weird stuff. But of
Well,
course, you got
you
Jackson
do-
Pollock.
I think we
You-
talked. Yeah, I think we talked about the whole art thing. What they're
Yeah, it's
doing.
all tax.
Yeah, it's all-
tax evasion
yeah,
and
it's
that
all
sort of
tax
thing, money
evasion.
laundering.
Mhm.
But yeah,
It
I mean,
is.
honestly, it looks like a nice house. Whoa, that is one hell of a closet.
I love
Yeah.
that closet.
That's quite the
That's as
closet.
big as our whole, big as our whole condo, their closet.
It just looks so sterile. Every room is just like
It does. It's
white,
boring as hell.
Well, you have to
white
remember
tile everywhere.
these people use it for, parties and corporate get-togethers, and they most likely
Ooh,
don't live there much more than a few weeks out of the whole year.
Probably
I like this
true.
office.
Yeah, that's a nice office. That's a nice
It's a nice
view of
office.
the middle bridge there.
And it's like the
Yeah.
only room in the entire house that isn't just like white and beige.
Right.
And that
So
was where the Bristol went up. It used to be an amphitheater for the small, teeny weeny college at Palm Beach Atlantic.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, they had an amphitheater right there on the water. It sat there for years. Yeah, old West Palm Beach is disappearing fast.
It sure
yeah, it
is.
sure is. Oh wow, I got the $78 million house open there now. We'll take a quick look at it. Why not?
Okay, 78 million only.
For a
78
condo.
$78 million for I mean, it is, how big did it say? 14,000 square feet.
Oh
big.
my God, that's huge.
Yeah,
It's big.
it's a pretty big condo. So let's
Wow.
see, which one is it? It's this one right here. Share the tab, put it up on here.
I'm
All right, let's
guessing
look
they
at
have
this
nice
place.
amenities.
This one looks nicer.
Yeah, it is
Well,
nicer.
I mean, for $78 million, you would hope it'd be at least somewhat nice. But look, there's another
Yep.
weird naked sculpture. See?
Yeah,
Yep.
On the
you're
right
right.
there.
Yep.
Why?
And there's one by the window too.
Yeah, that little like bust or whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever
the
that is.
headless man, or I don't know what it is either.
This
There
one
is
looks like I could live here if they gave it to me for free.
There is
Yeah.
no way I would pay anybody over about $1 million to live there. It's boring as hell.
For 14,000 square feet, you never have to leave.
I
Whoa,
suppose.
that's a bathroom.
What?
That's real
That's
nice.
tile? Oh, my
Fish
goodness.
scale painted on the walls. I don't know. These are the lifestyles of the rich and the famous. We can't comprehend them.
There
No,
you
we
go.
cannot.
I've never
All
been in
right.
a place like this, and I don't think I ever will.
All right, that's going to do it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.